Don't keep it loaded, son. You'll have to find ammo as you go.
Hello, hello, hello. So I want to show you an older mod, but it's a mod that will add skimpy armor to your game without replacing everyone's armor, okay? Now, it will have some other effects, but for the most part, it mainly just adds some skimpy armor to your game. Now, it is a good-sized mod. It is pretty big. 767 megabytes. It combines 3 different mods, but I've never seen them separately, okay? So, this is the Book of UUNP. Now, this is the 7-base curvy body one. There is one that is a more, what do they call it? I think it's a UNP or skinnier body, more slender version. This is from Game Fever. Now, let's see. There's about 350 pieces of armor added, okay? So, most of them are female only. Just so you know, there might be a few exceptions to that. Let's see, what does it say? It's packed into the 7-base body UMP shape. Oh, now here's the ones it's going to affect. It's going to add some iron armors, banded iron, steel plate. It's going to mess with the regional guard armors, okay? It is going to mess with those. That's one of the things that it will change, all right? For the most part, it doesn't change things. Then it does fur and hide and scaled and studded and Draugr and Dwarven, Forsworn, Orcish, Dragonbone, and Dragonscale. Now, I may have left off a couple of these, but by and large, I can show you most of these with what I've done over the past few minutes. Well, past little while, I went and took our girl Jade and made her create a bunch of this armor. And I outfitted her with a 7-base body so she could do this show and it would look a little better, okay? So let me show you that. Okay, so we're going to use this mod, right? This is the mod we're showing you, but again, because a body is involved and I want to show you what body I'm using, you could use any of the 7-base body mods, but I went ahead and used the OPI mod that I use a lot. So I used this one. It's a 7-base OPI, but the OPI part of it doesn't really matter. You'll see that these are going to be pretty curvy and big up top anyway, all right? So, and I'm still using the same texture that we talked about in our previous show. Same fair skin texture, and I still have the beauty pack down here, okay? Now, you can use R246's mod instead, and you'll be just, however you create your person is fine. I'm just showing you this. This is what I'm doing today, okay? And I'm using this hair pack. So you can kind of look here and you could slow down some of this and see what I'm actually using for my character, okay? But I wanted to make sure you had a chance to see the body I was using. This is the armor I'm using, and you had a chance to see the skin texture and the hair, okay? So that's what I'm using. Again, remember, this is from Game Fever. I know it's a huge mod, I know it is, but it adds a lot of variety and a lot of fun stuff. I used to use this a lot, but because it's so big, it's hard to use it all the time. So if you have a specific playthrough or things you're doing, it can be a lot of fun, okay? All right, so I will see you in the game in a moment.
Fascinating.
All right, so here's Jade, and she's already wearing one version of one of the armors that are added to the game. She is wearing the Ancient Nord armor, one version. These can be crafted in the Daedric section. Now, you may need some perks and some materials to craft some of these items, okay, so don't be surprised. They're not crafted for free, but you can all find them on the Forge. You don't have to have any book or anything. Some of the other armors, like here's a different variation, and they will change. Some more drastic than others, and some will be skimpier than others. Like that one is definitely a little more on the skimpy side. So it just depends on what you're after. as to whether or not you would use this or use a lot of these. There we go. And then some are still kind of skimpy, but they have a more, I don't know, with the fur there, in a way you could say that's a little more realistic, I suppose. You get some different boots. You see those boots? Those are higher thigh boots, kind of. And then some fairly, I guess, more normal boots. And I might even have the vanilla boots here by accident. If you see those, it's just because when I went through trying to make these, I tried to skip the vanilla boots, but sometimes I would accidentally make a few vanilla things. And if you do see that, then at least you'll know that the vanilla boots and gloves are still in the game. So it won't really hurt anything. I think it's funny that they've got this on and their feet stick out. It's kind of silly. It's like, oh, I have boots, yet I'm barefoot. So here's this. It just depends on what you like. You can mix and match a lot of these things. So, I mean, it's just giving you a lot of options. I'm trying to remember. I think some of this shows up in the leveled list, but not a lot. And I think your NPCs, now when I say the leveled list, I mean like your bandits, and some of them may wear some of these things, but I think your regular people around town don't wear a lot of it. Now, it does affect your guards. It absolutely does affect your guards, okay? So, and using this mod, when you remove this mod, you're going to have some people running around naked. Well, in their underwear, That's just what will happen if you remove this mod during your playthrough, okay? Because it does affect some things a little bit, but for the most part, it mainly just adds these armors in. Now, if we look at the banded iron armors, we don't have any shoes for that. So I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're just going to take these off so we don't get confused. So this is one banded iron armor. It gives you some variety to play around with. We do still have iron boots and gloves to wear, so never fear. It's just that's further down alphabetically. So these are, variations. Some are going to show more difference than the others. And there's a little clipping occasionally. Look right there. Looks like there's a little clipping. And that may be because I'm using the OwwThatSmarts body instead of the other 7-base body, but I think you'll find that most of these will fit really well. And these are interesting just because they're different and they give you some variety of what you can do with your followers and your characters. And it's not going to affect everybody in the game. Everybody's not going to be wearing these skimpy armors. So, I'm not saying none of them will ever show up, but it's not going to happen all the time. So I'm trying to remember. It has been a while since I used it, but this is mainly an addition. Now, here's something they added, is a Daedric Crown, but they didn't really add any Daedric armor to go with it that I found in my crafting. Her hair is clipping through it, but still, the idea of the crown is not a bad idea. They do give you some different dragon bone crowns, which I think work really well. Let's go with the plate here. There we go. And let's give her some boots and gauntlets. And then we'll tick down through some of this. So, alright. So here, I just gave her one of the crowns they give you. So you have a dragon plate headpiece, and they do some dragon scale ones too. That's dragon bone. These are heavy, and then they have dragon scale, which is light. They call these dragon bone for some reason. But anyway, even though her hair covers some of it up, it still looks pretty good. And let's see, there's some different variations that you might enjoy. I remember I liked these. Now the crown, that's just the crown. I don't think that's anything new. Then there is the dragon scale version, the light version of these same crowns, or, you know, headpieces. And then this is a dragon scale crown. And I don't know if I like the crowns that they gave you that much. This one, you know, they just, her hair clips through them. You could always change your hair to match such a thing, right? So it's not horrible, but it's just not what I would rather just use some of these, like this one. It's fine. I think that has a good look to it. I probably shouldn't have given her horns since I was doing this, but that's okay. We were just having some fun. Alright, so anyway, you'll notice that some of the gauntlets are not symmetrical. Some of the boots will not be either. Some of the outfits will not be symmetrical. So for those of you who enjoy that, even though I do not, there you go. Like here, this is not really symmetrical either. But still nice. These are good outfits, and they're, you know, they're racy enough. Some of them are really racy. You'll see that when we get there, and then some are not as racy. It just depends. So I try to give you a chance to look at each one. We may flip through the gauntlets and the boots a little faster because I know that's not as big a deal, but it is nice to see them and see what you're getting for your space, because this is a big mod. I know it is, so I'm not kidding you or me there. Well, I know it's a big mod. And here you can see the little piece is just barely, but the pieces are barely held together by little strings and stuff. And then there's that one. This one always looks funny because it looks like they're grabbing her chest. And so it's always kind of funny looking to me. But you can use this for you or your followers. That's mainly how you're going to use this type of thing. And I have some old videos that were probably not very good quality where I was using this on some of my followers. But you get the idea. These are some interesting armors. And they're not all super racy. I mean, they're all at least fairly racy, but they're not all super racy. Now, here's some different boots. See, those boots go up to the thigh there. And then those go up high. And those look more, you know, like more protective boots if you're into that. And then some like that. Oh, look at that. It's asymmetrical. It's bothering me already. And that's still asymmetrical. And then these are symmetrical, and they look pretty good. It just depends on what you like, how high you want your boots. I think it's good they give you plenty of options. Now, gauntlets, you don't have as many options, but you do have some options. And I think all of these were asymmetrical, which bothers me, but oh well. Now we get into dragon scale. Let me get some dragon scale boots and gauntlets here. You don't get as many options here. Now this is, I think this is the vanilla dragon scale. But don't worry about that. Like I said, I included some vanilla stuff by accident because I was making and I was going kind of fast. But it's actually not that bad if you see some vanilla stuff included, because then you can compare it to what you've got here. And you know that the vanilla is not replaced. You still have the option of using the vanilla items. And you can even mix and match them in with the modded items. Now this is the dragon scale stuff here. It's another asymmetrical shoulder piece. Ah! Yeah, I'm just being dumb. Anyway, so they tried to give you, like, this one looks like one of the heavy armor pieces. They tried to give you some things that they thought you would like, you know, something like this. So that's good. Oh, what's the difference? Oh, there's a tiny difference if you can see it down in the groin. There might be more difference in the back. I'm not sure. I didn't look. But anyway, there's not a huge difference in those two. It's kind of funny. And then this one takes away a lot of that stuff. Okay, there you go. And this is a little racier. Nothing wrong with that. Now we move down to boots. You know, just remember we're talking about, you know, silly cartoon stuff, fantasy stuff. Nothing real here. We get some more of those boots. Those look like insect boots or something, don't they? They look kind of odd. Not necessarily bad, just different. Okay, and then you get some choice of gauntlets, not a lot. And they're asymmetrical, of course, so they're bugging me automatically. Now, I just noticed it looks like the high heels are sinking into the ground, and I did not notice that before. Let's go back. Oh, they're not all high heels. That's why I didn't notice. So the ones that are high heels might, if they are high heels, are these high heels? I think they are, and I think they're sinking into the ground. Yeah, they are. So, you know, that's just something they didn't do correctly here. But if you wear some of the flats, see, like these are heels. Okay, if you wear some of the flats, you just won't have that problem. And there's a lot more flats than high heels from what I remember. So, alright, so now we're going to move on to Dwarven. And I think that is the vanilla armor. So I apologize for that, but that happens. I think, is this all the vanilla? I may have accidentally made. Okay, so here for comparison, this is the vanilla Dwarven armor. Now we will cut into some of the mod armor. And that's, you know, that's interesting, and that's not really super racy. That's just like a little dress. And then there's this. So some of these are going to vary on their raciness, and it just depends on what you're looking for or interested in. But I think these are good, interesting outfits. And some are going to be skimpier than others. That's just the way they're made. See, like, you're going to have some like this, which are skimpier than the others. That's just the way, it's the way some of these are. And just be options of what you want. I don't remember if these have any movement to them. I don't think so, no. It looks like they've got everything pretty much, what would you say? Secured, yeah, we'll say secured. How's that? Okay, anyway, so you get some variations here. And these are, you know, these are not meant to be, these are lore breaking, okay? These are not meant to be realistic. They're just for fun. And you'll either enjoy it or you won't. It's your choice. Oh, you know what? I left her headpiece on, didn't I? There is a good Dwarven headpiece. Hold on. There's this one, which is okay. For the Dwarven, they made some good little headpieces. That one's okay, but it's not my favorite. I think the headband, I think this is the one I like the best, because it really makes sense. It's like she's got a chin strap and a headband, protective headband on. Alright, let's go back to the armor. Sorry, I was distracted by that, but, you know, how it is. I get distracted. Anyway, so there we have this. And I think the Dwarven, this mod may have some of the better skimpy Dwarven armor that I have seen. And it has some good boots and gauntlets too. I just haven't showed them all to you yet. Here's some boots. Now, I think these are heels, yeah, and looks like they're clipping again into the ground, but they're not, I don't think are they all heels? No, they're not all heels. But the ones that are heels are going to clip, and there's nothing that, I can do about that. There is a way to fix that, but if it's not, if the modder didn't fix it, there's nothing I can do about it. So there's those boots, which those boots are similar to the, some of these are similar to the vanilla boots. They're not exactly the same, though. They do have their own style. And then like these are heels, but they have their own look to them. Oh, I wish they hadn't made all those heels. All those are clipping. That's too bad. Yeah, they should have made those flats. They would have worked better. Oh well. Anyway, still, I'm just showing you the mod, and it's up to you if you want to use it or not. Now, this is not heels, and it's not clipping, and I think that looks better. Now, it depends on what you like, of course. You're going to have to decide for yourself. Here's some gauntlets. Now, these are slightly different than the other ones. Not a huge change, so we probably shouldn't make a big deal out of it. I like, let's see, is it these that I like? I think there was another pair of gauntlets I liked better than those. Maybe it was these, because I kind of liked the arm band on the shoulder. But all of these are pretty good. Okay, and then there's the different headbands, of course. There is this headband, which gets rid of the chin strap and just gives you a headband, just a straight up, headband. There is the Dwarven Helmet, which you can use. Which, if you want to do that, you can definitely do that. And they give you a different one. Now, this one lets her horns and her face show, but not her hair. So that's interesting. I don't find that to be... That has its own appeal. I can see that. Okay. So that's different. And this one, what does this do? Oh, this gives you the cage. The cage face look. But you can't see her face, can you? No. But nonetheless, it is a different appearance if you wanted that. So, then there is the guard armors. Let's take some of this off for a moment. It doesn't look drastically different, but some of the guard armors will be different. And I don't know how that's determined, so I can't help with that so much. Here's iron armor. I'm going to look at boots, and those might be the standard boots and gauntlets, but that's okay. You mainly want to look at the armor right now, and then we will take a look at boots and gauntlets. I'll try to go through this a little quicker. Some of these are interesting, though. Interesting outfits. And just depends on what you like. A lot of this looks like it's junk cobbled together and just kind of thrown on. Like, well, let's just strap some stuff on and we'll do the best we can. So it's kind of funny in that sense. Some of it's not realistic. Some of it is. This is better, at least. If you're looking for more coverage, that is. And then this is better if you're not. It all depends on what you're looking for. So, it's up to you. Let's see. We got this. And that has some interesting webbing. I don't get the webbing, but that's okay. It doesn't hurt anything. It has its own look, so. And then this adds a little fur. Like, well, I kind of had some fur armor, and I reinforced it with some iron armor. Then you got some different boots. And these aren't drastically different, but they're a little different. Those look a little more solid, a little better shin guards. And then that comes up and has like a kneecap, so not bad. Or a knee guard, you could say. Then that gauntlet did not look like that changed a lot. It just changed a little bit. And that, same here, not a lot of change. These are just variations. There you go. And that looks like you have some good knuckles to punch somebody with. So that's interesting. Alright, now we'll go with the Orcish Armor. And there's some variations here to see. And we'll do some boots, some gauntlets. Was there anything else? Okay, no, that should be it. Alright, so no headpiece for this, I don't think. If we run across one, we'll show it. Alright, so this is Orcish, and it's going to have some variations where they mix in some fur and different things. And it looks good in its own way. And at least makes the Orcish armor a little more interesting for you. If you think the usual Orcish armor is a little on the boring side, which it looks good in its own way, but it is a little, they're all a little on the boring side at this point because we've played this game for so long. We've played this game for almost 11 years. Over 10 anyway, over 10. But these armors look good, and it breathes a little variety into what you can do if you want to use these. Again, I know this is a big mod, but you know, maybe we could get some of the new modders to kind of port this and make it smaller. That would be cool. If that's possible. I don't know what's possible and what's not, honestly. So, but yeah, these look pretty good in their own way. They all have their own appeal, and you'll tend to either like things or not. There's the more provocative look, I suppose. It's like they gave her little nips there at the end, if you know what I mean. You know, you see that? It's like, that's supposed to be metal. I don't know how those would be poking out, but hey, whatever. Let's just move on. So those boots are thicker, but not anything hugely different. And then you have these. And let's see, you have these. Are those technically heels? No. Oh, if they are, okay, those are technically heels, but look, they're not clipping. It's all in how they do it. There's some sort of thing they can do that keeps the heels from clipping. These are not heels, so these don't count. But there is something that can be done to keep them from clipping. Oh, that's interesting. See that, the little bony thigh cover? And then these are more substantial, definitely, here. And see, those are heels, too, and they're not clipping into the ground. So, like I say, there's a way to do it. It can be done. Whoever does the mod just has to take care of that. I don't know what they have to do. I've had some other people mention things. They seem to know exactly what it is, but nonetheless, these boots look pretty good. And see, these are heels. Some of these are heels and they're not clipping. So, just pointing that out. Alright, so let's look at the gauntlets now. That's not much different than what we just saw. Let's flip through these a little faster. These are just gauntlets. They're not even... Okay, that one had some substantial changes. It comes up the side and gives you some elbow pokers, which is good. Okay, and that's a little better. Okay. So, and there's the skull ones if you wanted to do the skull. Like, if you wanted to do the skull outfit, there was some boots that had the skulls. And then one of the armors had the skull. Let's see, maybe more than one. Come on, show me the picture. Nope. 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 Takes a second for some of the pictures to load. Like here. Like if you do that, she's got the skulls, you see. So one is in the groin, so that's a little scary, or at least it's close to that. Anyway, let's move on. Okay, so that's the Orcish stuff, though. Did I miss anything? I don't think so. I think we looked at everything. Alright, so let's go to the scaled armor. And we may or may not see much difference here, because that looks like the vanilla scaled armor. Okay, this is the not vanilla scaled armor. I think I have some boots, don't I? Yeah, we have some boots and some bracers. There we go. So this is that. And then, let's see, we have another one. And it's a little more coverage there. Depends on what you want. Then we have some different boots. Not hugely different. And there's some different boots again, not hugely different. Are any of these? None of these were heels, so they're fine. And then the bracers, that's a little different. I guess that has... No? Okay. Okay, so yeah, that's about it. Alright, so let's do the steel. Again, I know this takes a little time, but I think it's worth it. So that you get to see everything and kind of know what you're getting. I know it takes, like I said, some time. Gauntlets. I don't think we need the cuffed boots. I think those are vanilla. Anyway, so here you go. This is one version, and that's just basically like a one-piece, right? Like a one-piece bathing suit style. Let's go up here. There's a lot of different styles of steel, okay? We're going to go through this reasonably quickly. Notice those boots are not clipping, and I think those have slight heels on them. And you have some which are skimpier than others, again, as I have said before. Notice that I'm probably going to be demonetized on this video, okay? Luckily for us, I do this as a hobby, not as a living. So, yeah. YouTube is not going to like this video, I can tell you. Anytime I do anything, I don't know how MXR and some of these other people get away with stuff. I just can't get away with anything. But that's alright. That's alright. We will manage. I think personally that these look good. These are good variations of steel armor. It depends on what look you want to go for. Some are skimpier than others. Let me turn her around. I think the sun is kind of to this side now. Yeah, okay, there we go. And see, that's kind of like a short skirt type of deal. It depends on what you want. This is more, this is a little bit of a bandito covered steel, isn't it? I mean, she's kind of got some fur with the steel. Reinforcing my fur with steel. And then there's that. And then there's here. This has at least a little more coverage around the belly. Not a lot elsewhere. We'll just admit that up front. And there we go. And you're going to see variations of this kind of thing in, I think in, this is steel, but this isn't steel plate. So you're going to see some, I think, variations of this in steel plate too. Not exactly the same, but similar. Similar enough. And notice they're not all symmetrical. We got the big shoulder shield there. Now, if you could actually use that for something, that would be better. And that's the reinforced fur again. And then we have that. There we go. Now I'm going to clip through the boots and stuff really quick unless there's some reason for me not to. Like most of these boots are just going to be boots. Like those are just thicker boots. These are not, some of these are not heels. So there's nothing to really see. They're just, they have like kneecaps or not kneecaps or, you know, a lot of fuzzy stuff. I think that's just vanilla boots there. Or it's close to it. Oh wait, it's still cuffed boots. Oh, I see. They took the cuffed boots and they kind of put some steel on it. Okay, I don't know if that's vanilla or not now. I'm kind of confusing myself. Here's steel gauntlets, some variations, and they're not all symmetrical either, as you can see. And then we get into steel plate. Okay, steel plate is going to follow some of the things you just saw with steel, but it's not going to be exactly the same. Okay, steel plate boots. Let's put the boots on and the gauntlets on. Okay. But it's going to do some similar things, so don't be too surprised. Let's go up here. But there's some good variations here. And this might be more than you want in a show, but I mean, you can always go through this a little faster if you're not enjoying looking at this. I try to whip us around pretty quickly, but it does take time, and I like to make sure I show you everything I can. I don't try to make a bunch of 2-minute videos where somebody's just running around, because that doesn't really, I don't know, that doesn't seem very valuable. There are times when a short video will work and does the job, but sometimes, a lot of times, probably most of the times, it's not enough. It's not good enough to relay the information we need to relay so that you have a decent chance. So, now you could use a different body than the one I'm using, but it probably should be a 7-base body so that you don't get a lot of breaks in your ankles and wrists. Not much difference in those boots, was there? There's some difference. It gives you that lining up the leg. I'm not sure that really looks that great. Depends on what you like. Those, I guess that's buckles. It looks like they have eyeballs. Let's see. Wait, is this? Oh, these are heels. Now look, these heels don't clip either. So just want you to see that. Heels do not always have to clip. It depends on how they're done. And I can't tell you what the trick is. There's some kind of offset or something, some setting that's used. Not all heels clip. So just showing you that. Not trying to be a booger, but I don't like it when people say, well, it's just not possible. Well, actually, it is possible. It just, you know, it takes some work. It takes some doing. I don't know what you have to do. I should probably, if I had more time, I would try to get into modding just to have some fun with some different things. But that kind of time I do not have right now. I am barely, as you've probably noticed, I am barely keeping the channel going. I try to get a show up every day, and right now I'm having trouble even doing that. So I do apologize for that, but that is my life right now. Hey, there we go. We're done. That's all of them. You can look here. I don't think there's, let's see, I don't think there's, no, see, there's no jiggling up top in the armor or nothing. So, but anyway, there you go. That's, if that's not everything, that's nearly everything. Now, there are some things in this mod like gorgets and face masks. I didn't use any of those. I did not. And matter of fact, when we hop out of here, I'm going to show you the mod and show you the body mod, and then I'm going to show you another little mod I use just because I don't want guards to have the weird, I don't want anyone to have the weird gorgets and stuff, okay? So I will show you that in a moment.
Illogical.
Alright, so this is the mod we've been looking at, the book of UUNP-Sevenbase. It's Curvy. 767 megabytes. I know it's big. I'm not trying to kid you there. Okay, here we go. It does tell you all the different things it adds here. Now, the 44 guard armors are the things that I mentioned that you kind of have to realize that's going to affect your guards. You'll notice I didn't see any or make any really greatly different guard armor, but I think there's some different variations you'll see as you go through the game, okay? So there's a lot of pieces to this, and that's what they're talking about here. There's a whole lot of stuff, okay? I'm not going to get into all that, but there's a lot of good pieces in this mod. All right? Okay, so now let me go down and show you. I'm going to show you the body I'm using. I'm still using the same character mods that I've been using for a while, but I'm using this body. I feel like a 7-base. Now you can get, there is another 7-base body out there you could get and use, but when you're using 7-base armor, I think a 7-base body will work better. Just like when we were doing UNP, I used that UNP body. Okay, still using this texture, because 7-base is still technically a UNP body. I can't get into all those little details, but nonetheless, it's a type of body, and this fair skin complexion works on it. And I still have Definitive Beauty Pack down here, because to use these skin textures with Definitive Beauty Pack, this is the way it needs to be. Okay? Now, if someone learns or finds something else out, let me know, but that's what I'm using, how I'm doing it, and this is how my character, Jade, is made and working. Okay? Alright. So again, the main mod that we're looking at here is the Book of UUNP-Sevenbase. Now, it's an old one, or an older mod. 767 megabytes. It's really big. They mentioned these 3 volumes, and I assume that at some point on the Nexus you could get all 3 of those, maybe even now. But for us, as far as I know, this is the only version that we have available to us, is this one big mod. So, it's still a very good mod. It may be too big to be practical, and I understand that, but I wanted to show it to you in case you wanted something that really adds more armor to your game, but doesn't really go through and replace all the NPC armor. It is going to do some stuff. It is going to mess with your guards. So if you drop this mod in the middle of a playthrough, you're going to have a bunch of guards running around in their underwear. You can always go up with one of those other mods and force them to change their clothes or whatever. But that's the only issue I ever had with this mod, and that's because I dropped it in the middle. Now notice here it says, understand this is not a replacer module. It's not. It is in addition to what is present in your game now. However, from experience, the guard armor, some of the guards will wear some of the special armor from this mod, and if you drop this mod in the middle of your playthrough, you will have guards running around in their underwear. Okay? Alright, so I've said that enough. I don't want to beat that dead horse anymore. This is a good mod though, but it's big. I understand. Okay? Alright, thanks for watching. Hope you have a wonderful day, and I will catch you later. Woo! I'm Jumping Jack Flash. Woohoo! Come and catch me! Come and catch me! Wah-ha! This has been an OwwThatSmarts production.
Thank you very much.